Happy New Month, my people, and also a fruitful Ramadan to all my Muslim brothers. This is another year for the Ramadan fast. I pray Allah will grant you the desires of your heart as you go on this fast. While at it, let's look at Rivers State. Wike is mocking Atiku and Bala Mohammed over the Supreme Court judgment. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has mocked former People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and the chairman of the party Governors Forum, Bala Mohammed, over the Supreme Court judgment against Rivers State government. Wike wondered if Atiku and Mohammed would continue to hail Governor Sim Fubara of Rivers for disobeying court orders like they did in the past following the current Supreme Court judgment. He was reacting to the Supreme Court judgment that ordered the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Accountant General to stop allocation to Rivers State. Now, look at the judgment and look at the reaction of a Wike. Wike went on Twitter and said a lot of things. And look at if you look at how Nigerians are reacting to the Supreme Court judgment, it tells you a lot about the judiciary in Nigeria. Let's look at what Wike said on his Twitter handle after this judgment. On Wike's Twitter handle, he says, the Supreme Court has made it clear that you cannot have a democracy without a legislature. The Supreme Court has made it clear that you cannot say that there is a government without a legislature. It is unheard of where anybody will say 3 people will constitute an assembly to make law for the entire state. It has nothing to do with an individual. Whether you like this person's face or not, what is important is that can 3 people make law for a state, not to even talk of appropriation. We know that Fubara has Jumbo as a speaker and 3 other lawmakers. Wike is questioning the rationale of 3 people making law for a state that has over 30, let's say 28, 29 lawmakers that were supposed to be sitting in that house. When you look at the reactions, Nigerians reacting to this Wike tweet, it is somehow disheartening. It shows that Nigerians are on the side, most Nigerians that reacted are on the side of Fubara. The people have started realizing that the system is not really going to favor them. It favors a certain set of people. The same Supreme Court said you cannot form a government without winning in a free and transparent electoral process. Governor Wike swear that you are a Democrat and you practice democracy. You used Chogri to rig the 2023 elections for APC, and you should be ashamed of yourself for coming out here to preach democracy. I saw your video where you were singing and praising God for this judgment. Meanwhile, you manipulated and stole another person's mandate, making you a religious man and not a Christian. It is very interesting. It is very, very interesting how some of these players manipulate the system to their favor. This is like, the more you look, the less you see. What is going to happen? Somebody says, you can deceive your kids and thugs, not Nigerians. You cannot deceive Nigerians who are more educated and exposed. It surely has an expiry date. Yes. Why not focus on your ministerial role? Why not focus on your ministerial role and leave Rivers State out of it? A former governor doesn't control the state. Somebody also is reacting. An election thief lecturing Nigerians on democracy is unbecoming of an Obiakpo Hitler. May you live long enough to reap the evil you've sown in Aso Rock. If they voluntarily vacated their seat, then the remaining 3 can serve until a by-election is conducted. No winner yet, but I believe Wike is leading Rivers in this whole debacle. Let the Supreme Court or the Federal High Court determine the fate of the 27 lawmakers reinstated by the Supreme Court. That is where Fubara still have an edge. Yes, to say I will also beat Wike to this one. The Federal High Court needs to determine the position of these 27 lawmakers before we now come to a conclusion that Wike has won Fubara in this, whatever you're seeing in Rivers State. Now, facts from the recent Supreme Court judgment. This is somebody who is on the side of Fubara, in quote. Look at what he said. The 25 lawmakers are gone forever. They should prepare for 2027 because their seats declared vacant. The Federal High Court should tell us whether there's going to be a renewal of election. If you leave your party, if they cannot establish that there was a crisis in PDP before they left the party, that means their seats have been declared vacant. But if they can establish that there was a crisis in PDP before they left, then they can remain as lawmakers in that house. But until that, let the Federal Court decide. He also says that Governor Sim isn't going to present any budget to the former lawmakers. That one is tough. Another local government elections will be conducted and the same people would return. The former local government chairman, loyal to Wike in quote, are gone forever. That's a possibility. Withholding federal allocation from an oil-producing state like Rivers means it is the federation that will suffer. I mean, I don't know how that one will happen. No. Are they going to stop the oil production or whatever if you are withholding federal allocation? I think Obasanjo did it to Tinubu, and Tinubu used local government funding, IGR, internally generated revenue, to run the state. Now, Sim Fubara would remain governor till 2031. Rivers people are with Sim Fubara. If the CBN and the Accountant General withhold allocation and funds, federation funds from Rivers State is left with is either local government fund, well, the local government has been disbanded, local government funds, or run it with the internal generated revenue in Rivers. Remember, Rivers internal generated revenue can run 3 states. What Rivers State is making from internally generated revenue can equally run the state, just like the bogus monies will not be there. If Fubara refuses to present the budget, there's nothing this assembly will run on. They will just be there like figurehead if Fubara does not present the budget. Okay, you are disbanding the local government, there will be a re-election. Since Fubara is in charge, even if they are going to constitute and come together, the Amaewhule led 27 lawmakers, if they are going to come together, an impeachment process takes a longer time, and the politics will be played. I believe Fubara has a sure 4 years. He's going to spend his 4 years. I don't know what's going to happen after, if there's an election. I don't know if the APC, with the guidance of Wike, will repeat what they did in Edo State, and also, I think Edo State and Ondo State. Ondo State is a walk-off. You know that APC will win Ondo State. Whether they will repeat what happened in Edo, whether the president under Tinubu, but for Fubara, he has 4 years. But my pain is that the people are the ones that are going to suffer. This political gragra between Fubara and Wike's boys is going to set back that state. And I don't pray that it escalates into a national crisis, that it won't warrant that you are a state of emergency will be declared in Rivers State. So what people think about this judgment, what are Nigerians thinking about the judgment? I just want to put, what do you think about this Wike's judgment? We know, set emotions aside, the kind of politics we play in Nigeria is not fair. Wike has a upper hand. We know how they are building houses for judges. We know how a certain land was taken from a company and they gave they started building buildings for these justices and they gave them C of O. We know what is happening, the policies that is going on there. Under this system, nothing can be fair to you. Those that are in power, they know how to. Bukachua, he made revelations. He secures judgment for his friends when his wife was a judge. These are realities. See, and the truth, in a society like Nigeria, the truth will always be hidden. These politicians will not allow you to know the truth. The truth is that the people are the ones that are going to suffer with all these things. What concerns a minister? Why is he so much invested in Rivers State? There's a politics going on. APC wants to take over Rivers State, and thereby willing tools can present themselves to destabilize the state. APC is hunting to take over all states. I'm telling you, the PDP is not standing, Labour Party is not standing. At least these are the two parties that we can call opposition in Nigeria. They are not standing. My state, Abia State, the state is going to APC. Because the Labour Party that you see there we don't see any reasonable structure of the Labour Party that brought in Alex Otti. Remember, Alex Otti came from somewhere and joined the Labour Party. And where did he come from? He came from the APC. So the Abia State government will be using the APC as a vehicle. The same way APC wants Anambra State. But I think Soludo is going to strike a deal with the APC. The same APC wants an Enugu State. The same APC wants Rivers State. APC wants to stake everywhere. So whatever it can do, even Kano State, whatever it can do to make sure that this party carry the broom, it will do. If it means to cause crisis or declare state of emergency in any state, they will do. But one thing I'm very sure, very sure about it, that Fubara will spend 4 years, complete 4 years. There's still an edge Fubara has over this whole issue. If the Federal High Court determines the position of these lawmakers, then another election will be. It is the Federal High Court decision that is now the game changer. Forget about Wike taunting Atiku, Wike taunting Bala Mohammed. This is just politics. I believe the grudge that Wike had with Tambuwal and Atiku playing a smart one on him during the last presidential election race in PDP, where Wike almost won that presidential election. We agreed that certain governors were going to, yes, Wike almost won that election. However, they now turned back and played Wike. Tambuwal and Atiku played Wike. Maybe that's one of the reasons why you see Wike will do anything to make sure that he taunts them. Well, in Port Harcourt today, I don't know how it's going to be like. I saw a video where some people were moving on the streets. I heard gunshots and everything. I hope they will not turn that place to another zone of violence. I don't know whether the patience of these people will be tested. But however, everybody has a price. I don't trust these Port Harcourt people. They can be bought over. Everybody has a price. Like what Edo State, we thought Edo State had that integrity enough to come together, align, and defend a mandate. They were all pulling saying that we don't want APC. But before the election, PDP coordinators were moving to the side of the APC. Something made them move. That minute, I was in a canteen. The woman that owns the canteen said a lot of things. She's from Edo State. She told me about what happened in the state. That some of them are getting free money. Just enjoy yourself from a particular party. Enjoy yourself. PDP, some people were canvassing for a particular party in Edo State. So where I see it now, everybody almost has a price. Since PDP is an oil producing state, what the worst thing they can do is that the Federal High Court will declare the seats of those 27 or 25 lawmakers vacant, and they conduct a fresh election. Then this guy will not work with his 3 lawmakers and a speaker. But if it's the Federal High Court does not declare the seat vacant, if they keep on pushing it, adjoining, man, it's going to be big trouble in Rivers State. And the governor would not take it. Remember, the governor will appoint the chief judge of the state. If they are going to impeach the governor, they need the absence of the chief judge. It's like they will start changing chief judge from time to time now in Rivers State. Remember, the federal government controls the police. The federal government controls the security apparatus in Nigeria, and they may use that influence. I've said it before. Remember, see how they almost treated Wike, Fubara, as a governor. They were spraying the governor. Wow. This is going to open our eyes to the kind of system we are running in Nigeria. Snatch it, grab it, and run away with it. It's not an ideal thing for an average Nigerian, but an average Nigerian is too blind to see it. What has blindfolded their eyes is tribalism. I'm Igbo, I'm Hausa, I'm Yoruba. They know that if Yorubas and Igbo join hands together, they know if they join their hands together, they will shake this country. But they must create that divide. They must create that hatred among the Yorubas and Igbos. Just look at what is going on the timeline. A certain ethnicity is supporting the judgment, while other ethnicities are against the judgment. Tells you the division that have been planted. At the end of the day, both people that are siding one side or the other are the ones that are going to lose. Fubara is not going to lose. He's not going to be hungry for the rest of his life. He and his children, they know how they settle themselves out there. There's no tribalism up there. What you see is political gra-gra. There's no tribalism. They know how to settle themselves. It is we Nigerians that are not come together to look at how the system is being rigged against our favor. I've said it. We need to change the system for it to work. If we do not, if we keep on running like this, at the end of the day, we are going to be the biggest losers in Nigeria. I will not read all the things that's been said about Wike. Most of them are, you can't say it out online. But Nigerians are angry with this Supreme Court judgment. They are very angry. Very angry. I've not seen reactions from Bala Mohammed or Atiku or Peter Obi on this Supreme Court judgment. We are waiting to understudy what's going to happen. And let our Ramadan brothers pray. Pray for this country. Then the country needs prayers, genuine prayers, not a prayer from a bigot. Remember, Islam is not tribal. Don't become a bigot and you are praying to Allah. Allah will not answer the prayer of a bigot, because Islam is a brotherhood thing. Islam is not tribal. So don't go there and be praying. You are biased in your assertion. You are praying from a no. At least pray genuinely that this system needs to change in Nigeria. This system of governance, it is going to breed more people like Wike and more people like Tinubu. This system, it is a school system. How good that system is, it determines the kind of student is going to bring out from that school. If you're an Olodo, or if you're a lazy person, or if you have low grades in school, there's a system you pass through that will help you arrange and organize yourself to become a better person. There are some systems you pass through, it makes you a better person. There are some systems you pass through, it makes you a bad person. Like our prison system, you pass through our prison system, it makes you become hardened. So this political system we are practicing, it will produce more the likes of Wike, the likes of Tinubu in our society. And you and I that don't have anybody in that upper echelon, we are the ones that are going to suffer. Stand and speak for the truth. Don't bring tribalism into what you are doing. Let me tell you, up there as you see them, nothing, no tribalism. They are enjoying big time. They are setting up their families and generations to take over from them. A Yoruba family, prominent family, will set up themselves, their children, and their family and allies to take over important positions in NNPC, in NAFTAC, and co. An Igbo prominent family will do the same thing. They set up themselves to take over Nigeria. Not you and I that we are at the masses. We are fighting. Igbo, somebody is threatening. And I know your details. I'll come on. That is one of the biggest foolishness. With all this gra, the people of Port Harcourt are going to suffer. I just pray that something happens. Something happens. I just pray that the Federal High Court declares the seat of those 25 or whatever lawmakers vacant. Then they conduct a new election to replace those vacant seats, and also the local government, they conduct a new election in the local government, and I believe everything at least should come back to where it was. The people at least should find something to talk about governance in the state. Because with all these things, Fubara no go gree, he must spend 4 years, and that 4 years, the people will suffer, development in that state will suffer, and a lot of people may go because of the, in quotes, the violence that may erupt as a result of this. We know the Supreme Court should be respected, yes, but let justice be seen. Let justice be seen to be served. People like Wike should not interfere in the politics in Rivers State. Wike should go and focus on the FCT. We can see Wike's hand in all this. Whether we like Wike or not, you should not interfere in politics. Whatever agreement you had, and even the Fubara himself is not even willing to come out to tell us. The two of themselves are just playing the people of Rivers State. Well, let's see what the future holds for Rivers State, and I believe this should not be a starting point for a revolution from the southern part of Nigeria. This should not be a starting point for revolution. Some people are predicting military takeover. That military can take over anytime. I hope, and I continue to hope, that this will not be a starting point for another revolution in Nigeria.